My beloved brother and sisters, life does not always go the way we expect. There are moments when things fall apart, when doors close, when people disappoint us, and when our own plans collapse right in front of our eyes. In those moments, we often ask, why is this happening to me? But perhaps the better question is, what is Allah preparing me for? You see, as human beings, we plan, we dream, we plan, we dream, we build expectations. But Allah, the one who created you, the one who knows you better than you know yourself, has a plan that is far greater than anything you could ever imagine, And sometimes what feels like a setback is actually a setup for something greater. When you lose something, it hurts. When something doesn't go your way, it confuses you. But understand this, Allah does not take away something from you except that He intends to replace it with something better, either in this life or the next. The problem is we are impatient. We want immediate answers. We want to see the full picture right now. But Allah asks us to trust Him even when we cannot see the path ahead. Hardship is not a sign that Allah has abandoned you. In fact, it is often a sign that Allah is elevating you. Think about it. Gold is purified through fire. Without the heat, it cannot shine. Similarly, your struggles are not there to break you. They are there to shape you, to strengthen you, and to raise your rank. Sometimes Allah delays something you desperately want, and you feel frustrated, you make dua, you pray, and still nothing seems to change. But what if that delay is actually mercy? What if Allah is protecting you from something you cannot see? What if He is preparing something far better for you at the perfect time? Accepting Allah's plan does not mean you stop trying. It does not mean you give up your dreams. It means you do your best, you put in effort. And then you leave the outcome in the hands of Allah with complete trust. It means you say, Ya Allah, I trust you. Even if I don't understand, I know you are in control. Patience is not just about waiting. Patience is about how you behave while you are waiting. It is about maintaining your faith when things are difficult. It is about controlling your tongue when you feel like complaining. It is about holding on to hope when everything around you seems uncertain. And remember, no pain you go through is wasted. Every tear you shed, every sleepless night, every moment of sadness, Allah sees it all. And He promises that with every hardship comes ease. Not after hardship, but with it. That means even in your darkest moments, there is ease somewhere. You just have to look for it. Perhaps the biggest test is learning to let go. Let go of the need to control everything. Let go of the past that you cannot change. Let go of the people who were never meant to stay. And hold on tightly to Allah. Because when you truly rely on Him, you will never be alone. Your story is not over. That failure you experienced is not the end. That heartbreak is not the end. That heartbreak is not the end. That difficulty is not the end. It is just a chapter. And sometimes the most painful chapters lead to the most beautiful endings. So accept Allah's plan, not because it is easy, but because it is perfect. Trust Him not because you understand everything, but because He understands what you do not. And believe with certainty that if you remain patient, if you keep your faith strong, if you continue to turn to Him, you will rise. You will rise stronger. You will rise wiser. And most importantly, you will rise closer to Allah. Life has a way of unfolding in directions we never expected. You plan something carefully, you put your heart into it, and then suddenly it doesn't work out. Doors close, opportunities disappear, and you are left wondering why. In those moments, it is very easy to feel lost, confused, and even disappointed. But this is exactly where your faith is tested. When life does not make sense, will you still trust that Allah knows what He is doing? As human beings, we are limited. Our knowledge is small, our vision is narrow, and we can only see what is right in front of us. We judge situations based on what we feel at the moment. If something makes us happy, we think it is good. If it causes us pain, we think it is bad. But Allah sees the entire picture. He knows what happened in your past, what is happening now, and what is going to happen in your future. His knowledge is complete, and His wisdom is perfect. There are times when something you desperately wanted does not happen. You made dua, you tried your best, and still it slipped away. It hurts, and you may even question why Allah did not give you what you asked for. But what you fail to realize in that moment is that Allah may have saved you from something that could have harmed you. That opportunity you lost, that relationship that ended, that path that closed. It may have been a protection, not a punishment. Trusting Allah's plan means believing that even when things go wrong from your perspective, they are still going right according to His wisdom. It means understanding that delays are not denials and closed doors are not the end of your journey. Sometimes Allah withholds something because the timing is not right. Sometimes He redirects you because there is something better waiting for you ahead. And sometimes He tests you to strengthen your faith and bring you closer to Him. When life becomes confusing, remind yourself that Allah is Al-Hakim, the most wise. Nothing happens without a reason. Every event in your life, whether you understand it or not, is part of a greater plan. You may not see the outcome now, but one day everything will make sense. One day you will look back and realize that what you once thought was a loss was actually a blessing in disguise. It is easy to trust Allah when everything is going well. It is easy to say Alhamdulillah when life is smooth and comfortable. But true trust is shown when you are facing difficulty, when your heart is heavy and when your mind is full of questions. That is when you say, Ya Allah, I do not understand what is happening, but I trust you. That is when your faith becomes real. Trusting Allah also brings peace to your heart. When you truly believe that everything is in His control, you stop overthinking every situation. You stop worrying about things you cannot change. You do your best, you make your effort, and then you leave the rest to Him. This trust does not remove your struggles, but it changes how you experience them. It gives you strength, patience, and a sense of calm even in the middle of chaos. So when life does not make sense, do not lose hope. Do not think that Allah has forgotten you. Instead, remind yourself that He is guiding you in ways you cannot see. Hold on to your faith, continue making dua, and trust that whatever Allah has planned for you is better than anything you could have planned for yourself. Hardship is something every single one of us tries to avoid. No one wakes up and asks for pain, loss, or difficulty. We naturally seek comfort, ease, and stability. But the reality of life is that hardship is not something you can escape. It is part of your journey, part of your growth, and more importantly, part of your elevation. What you see as a burden may actually be the very thing that raises your status in the sight of Allah. When something difficult happens, the first reaction is often frustration. You wonder why things are not going your way. You may even feel like you are being held back while others are moving forward. But the truth is, Allah does not test you to push you down. He tests you to lift you up. Every challenge you face carries within it an opportunity to grow stronger, to become more patient, and to build a deeper connection with your Creator. Think about the times when life was easy, everything was going smoothly, and you felt comfortable. In those moments, how often did you truly turn to Allah with sincerity? Now compare that to the times when you were struggling, when you felt broken, when you had nowhere else to turn. Those are the moments when your du'as became more heartfelt, when your sujood lasted longer, and when your connection with Allah became stronger. Hardship has a way of bringing you back to what truly matters. It is important to understand that elevation does not come without effort or sacrifice. Nothing valuable is gained without going through some form of struggle. Just as a seed must break open beneath the soil before it can grow into a tree, you too must go through moments of difficulty before you can reach your full potential. The breaking you feel is not meant to destroy you, it is meant to transform you. Sometimes Allah tests those He loves the most, not because He wants to see them suffer, but because He wants to raise their ranks. The more patient you are, the greater your reward. The more you endure with faith, the higher you are elevated. Your hardships are not random, they are carefully measured and designed specifically for you. Allah knows exactly what you can handle, even when you feel like you cannot handle it anymore. There are people who go through life without many vice-able hardships, and it may seem like they have it easy. But true success is not measured by how easy your life is. It is measured by how close you are to Allah and what your rank will be in the hereafter. Sometimes the difficulties you face in this life are actually saving you from greater hardships in the next. When you begin to see hardship as a means of elevation, your perspective changes. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what is Allah teaching me through this? Instead of feeling defeated, you start looking for the wisdom behind the test. And even though the pain may still be there, it becomes easier to carry because you know it has a purpose. Patience becomes your strength in these moments. Not a passive patience where you simply wait, but an active patience where you continue to trust Allah, continue to do good, and continue to move forward despite the difficulty. You remind yourself that every moment of patience is being recorded, every struggle is being seen, and every tear will be rewarded. So do not fear hardship. Do not think that it is the end of your journey. It may be the very beginning of something greater. The challenges you face today may be the reason you stand higher tomorrow. If you hold on to your faith, if you remain patient, and if you continue to trust in Allah's wisdom, then know with certainty that your hardship is not in vain. It is lifting you, it is shaping you, and it is preparing you for a level you could not have reached without it. One of the greatest struggles a person faces is the desire to be in control of everything. We like to plan every detail of our lives to know what is coming next and to feel secure in the outcomes we expect. When things go according to our plans, we feel at ease. But the moment something shifts, the moment life takes an unexpected turn, we feel anxious, unsettled, and sometimes even broken. This is because we have attached our hearts to our own plans instead of placing our trust fully in Allah. Letting go of control does not mean you stop caring or stop trying. It means you recognize your limits as a human being. You do what is within your ability. You make your effort sincerely, but you understand that the final outcome was never in your hands to begin with. Control is an illusion we hold on to, but true peace comes when you release that illusion and submit to the one who is truly in control of all things. There are moments in life when you hold on to something so tightly, an outcome, a person, a dream, thinking that if you just try a little harder, it will work out. But despite all your efforts, it slips away. And that is when you feel the pain the most, not just because of what you lost, but because you feel like you failed to control the situation. What you do not realize is that sometimes holding on is what hurts you, and letting go is what heals you. Submitting to Allah's wisdom means trusting that whatever He chooses for you is better than what you choose for yourself, even when it goes against your desires, even when it does not match your expectations. You remind yourself that Allah's knowledge is complete. While yours is limited, you see a moment, but He sees a lifetime. You see the surface, but He sees what is hidden. When you learn to let go, you begin to experience a different kind of peace. A peace that is not dependent on circumstances going your way. A peace that remains even when things are uncertain. Because your heart is no longer tied to outcomes. It is tied to the one who controls those outcomes. And that changes everything. Letting go also means releasing the past. There are things that have happened in your life that you cannot change, no matter how much you think about them. Mistakes you made opportune. It is you miss. Decisions you regret. Holding on to these things only weighs you down. It drains your energy and keeps you stuck. But when you submit to Allah's wisdom, you accept that even your past was part of His plan. You learn from it, you seek forgiveness, and then you move forward. It also means letting go of people who were never meant to stay in your life. Sometimes we hold on to relationships that are not good for us simply because we are afraid of being alone or because we invested so much into them. But if Allah removes someone from your life, it is not without reason. It may be painful, but it is often a form of protection or a step towards something better. Submitting to Allah is not weakness. It is strength. It takes courage to say, Ya Allah, I have done my part and now I leave the rest to you. It takes strength to accept what you cannot change and to trust that there is goodness in it, even if you cannot see it yet. The more you try to control everything, the more overwhelmed you will feel. But the more you trust Allah and surrender to His plan, the lighter your heart becomes. You begin to realize that you were never meant to carry the burden of controlling your entire life. That responsibility belongs to Allah alone. So let go of the need to have everything figured out. Let go of the fear of the unknown. And hold on firmly to your trust in Allah. Because when you truly submit to His wisdom, you are not losing control. You are placing your life in the care of the one who never makes mistakes. Patience is often misunderstood. Many people think patience simply means to wait, to sit quietly and do nothing until things change. But patience is far deeper than that. It is not passive, it is active. It is active. It is active. It is a strength of the heart, a discipline of the soul, and a powerful force that shapes your character during the most difficult moments of your life. When you are faced with hardship, your natural reaction may be to panic, to complain, or to lose hope. But patience teaches you to pause. It teaches you to hold your emotions, to guard your words, and to respond with faith instead of frustration. It is not about pretending that everything is okay when it is not. It is about trusting that even in the middle of your struggle, there is a purpose that you may not yet understand. There will be times when you make dua for something with all your heart, and yet the answer does not come when you expect it. Days turn into weeks, weeks into months, and you begin to feel tired. You start to wonder if your prayers are being heard. This is where patience becomes your strength. Because patience reminds you that Allah is never late. His timing is always perfect, even when it feels delayed to you. Patience is also about how you carry yourself during difficulty. It is easy to remain calm when life is going smoothly, but the true test of your character appears when you are under pressure. When you are hurt, do you hurt others? When you are upset, do you complain endlessly? Or do you hold yourself with dignity, trusting that Allah sees what you are going through? Every moment of patience is an act of obdata. When you choose to remain calm instead of reacting in anger, that is patience. When you hold back from saying something hurtful, that is patience. When you continue to do good despite feeling low, that is patience. These small acts may seem insignificant to you, but they are avyam in the sight of Allah. There is a quiet strength that comes with patience. It does not always show on the outside, but it builds you from within. It teaches you resilience. It teaches you to endure without breaking. And over time, it transforms you into someone who can face life's challenges with a steady heart and a clear mind. Patience also brings clarity. When you rush, you often make decisions based on emotion. But when you are patient, you give yourself time to think, to reflect, and to see things from a better perspective. What once seemed overwhelming becomes manageable. What once felt like the end begins to look like a new beginning. It is important to remember that patience does not mean you will not feel pain. You will feel it. You will have moments of dafaif. You will have days when your heart feels heavy. But patience is about not allowing that pain to pull you away from Allah. It is about continuing to turn to Him even when you are struggling. It is about saying, Ya Allah, give me the strength to get through this instead of giving up. Allah has promised that He is with those who are patient, and what greater comfort can there be than knowing that the Creator of the heavens and the earth is with you in your struggle. His support, His mercy, and His guidance surround those who choose patience over despair. In the end, patience is not just about getting through a difficult time. It is about who you become in the process. It shapes your faith, strengthens your qalbam, and brings you closer to Allah in ways that ease never could. So hold on to patience, even when it feels difficult, because within it lies a strength that will carry you through, a strength that will elevate you, and a strength that will ultimately lead you to peace. Pain is something no one willingly chooses, yet it is something everyone experiences. It enters your life in different forms: loss, disappointment, rejection, heartbreak, and when it comes, it can feel overwhelming. In those moments, it is easy to focus only on the hurt, to feel consumed by it, and to believe that it serves no purpose. But if you look deeper, you would begin to realize that pain, when handled with the right mindset, can become one of the greatest tools for your growth and your closeness to Allah. When life is comfortable, you tend to rely on your own strength. You move forward with confidence, often forgetting how much you truly need Allah. But pain has a way of humbling you. It reminds you of your dafeh, your dependence, and your need for your Creator. It brings you back to your sajud, back to your da'a, back to that sincere connection where you speak to Allah from the depths of your heart. In this way, pain is not just a burden. It is a bridge that reconnects you to Allah. Every difficult experience carries a lesson, even if it is not immediately clear. Sometimes pain teaches you about yourself. It reveals strengths you did not know you had. It shows you how much you can endure, how much you can handle, and how resilient you truly are. Other times, it teaches you about people. It opens your eyes to who is genuine and who is not. And sometimes, it teaches you about dunya itself, that it is temporary, unpredictable, and not meant to be your ultimate place of comfort. Turning pain into growth requires a shift in perspective. Instead of asking, why is this happening to me? You begin to ask, what can I learn from this? That simple change in thinking transforms your entire experience. The pain may still be there, but now it has meaning. Now it has purpose. And when something has purpose, it becomes easier to carry. There are moments when pain pushes you to make changes you would have never made otherwise. It forces you to step out of situations that were harming you. It pushes you to become better, to do better, and to seek something greater. Without that discomfort, you might have remained stuck, unaware of what you truly deserve or what you are capable of becoming. Pain also softens the heart. It makes you more compassionate, more understanding, and more empathetic towards others. When you have experienced struggle, you become more aware of the struggles of those around you. You learn to be kinder, more patient, and more supportive. In this way, your pain not only transforms you, but also allows you to be a source of halal for others. It is important to remember that not all growth is visible. Some of the most significant changes happen within you, in your qalbik, in your mindset, in your relationship with Allah. You may not see immediate results, but with time, you will notice that you are not the same person you once were. You are stronger, wiser, and more grounded in your faith. And perhaps one of the most beautiful aspects of pain is that it increases your reward. Every moment of difficulty you endure with patience, every tear you shed, every effort you made to stay strong, Allah sees it all. Nothing is lost, nothing is forgotten. Your pain is being recorded and it will be rewarded in ways you cannot even imagine. So do not let your pain go to waste. Do not allow it to make you bitter or distant from Allah. Instead, let it bring you closer. Let it refine you, strengthen you, and elevate you. Because when you turn your pain into growth, you are not just surviving your struggles, you are rising through them, becoming a better version of yourself, and drawing nearer to the one who understands your pain better than anyone else. Hope is a light that shines even in the darkest of times. It is the inner assurance that no matter how difficult life becomes, there is a path forward, a way through, and a reason to keep going. Without hope, the heart becomes heavy, the mind restless, and the spirit weary. But with hope, even the smallest step feels meaningful, and even the deepest hardship can be endured. Allah wants us to hold on to hope because it is a sign of faith and trust in His infinite wisdom. When life becomes overwhelming, it is easy to lose sight of the bigger picture. You may feel trapped in your circumstances, weighed down by failures, or surrounded by people who do not understand your journey. At these moments, hope is not blind optimism. It is the conscious choice to believe that Allah's mercy is greater than your struggle, that His timing is perfect, and that relief will come even if you cannot see it yet. Hope anchors the heart and reminds you that despair has no place when Allah is with you. Certainty and hope go hand in hand. When you are certain that Allah is in control, that He sees every effort, every tear, every prayer, you can hold on to hope even when everything seems lost. Life may not follow the path you expect, but that does not mean it is going in the wrong direction. Sometimes what feels like delay is divine preparation, and what feels like loss is actually protection. Hope allows you to trust that Allah's plan is better than your own. It is during moments of despair that hope becomes most powerful. When your dreams are shattered, when your prayers seem unanswered, and when the world feels cold, hope reminds you to keep moving forward. It encourages you to make do with sincerity, to take steps toward improvement, and to seek Allah's guidance without giving up. Even the tiniest flicker of hope can inspire resilience, strength, and patience. Without it, your heart may give up, but with it, your heart finds courage to continue. Hope also has a transformative effect on your actions. When you are hopeful, you do not resign yourself to passivity or helplessness. You work harder, persevere longer, and respond to challenges with faith rather than fear. It inspires you to turn trials into opportunities, setbacks into lessons, and difficulties into sources of growth. Hope turns despair into motivation and fear into trust. It changes the way you perceive life and interact with the world around you. One of the most important aspects of hope is remembering that no hardship is permanent. Allah says in the Quran that with every difficulty comes ease. This promise is not vague, it is specific. And it gives certainty to the believer. Even in the darkest night, there is a dawn. Even in the heaviest burden, there is relief. Hope is the awareness that Allah's mercy will manifest and that your patience, your struggles, and your prayers will never be wasted. Hope also keeps your heart connected to Allah. When you lose hope, you become disconnected, anxious, and spiritually exhausted. But when hope is alive, it encourages constant reliance on Allah, turning every challenge into an opportunity to grow closer to Him. It allows you to trust that no matter what happens, He is sufficient for you and that His plan is always perfect. Therefore, nurture hope within yourself. Do not allow disappointment, setbacks, or the opinions of others to extinguish it. Feed it with dua, patience, and faith in Allah's wisdom. Look for signs of His mercy in the little things around you. And remember the countless times He has guided you through difficulties in the past. The more you embrace hope, the stronger your heart becomes, and the more prepared you are to rise above every challenge. Hope is the compass of the believer. It points you toward ease, toward growth, and toward the mercy of Allah, assuring you that no matter how hard life gets, you will rise. Life is full of challenges, setbacks, and moments that seem impossible to understand. Yet in every trial, there is a lesson. In every loss, there is wisdom. And in every loss, there is wisdom. And in every delay, there is divine timing. When we accept Allah's plan with complete trust, we free ourselves from the burden of trying to control everything and open our hearts to His infinite wisdom. Hardship is not a punishment, but a means of elevation, shaping our character, reaffirming our faith, and teaching us patience. Pain, disappointment, and loss are not the end. They are stepping stones toward growth, resilience, and a closer connection to Allah. Hope becomes our guiding light, reminding us that ease always follows difficulty and that every struggle has a purpose beyond what we can see. By surrendering to Allah's plan, exercising patience, and keeping hope alive, we rise above our challenges, becoming stronger, wiser, and spiritually elevated. The key is to trust fully, remain steadfast, and believe that Allah's plan for you is perfect, because when you do not just survive life's tests, you rise. Thank you, everyone.